If you're a gym owner, a personal trainer, or a fitness studio owner and you're struggling to get as many clients as you used to through paid advertising, and you're also feeling like there's a lot more competition in your area, your lead costs are going up, and it's more saturated with everyone offering the same thing, give me the next few minutes and I'm going to show you how we've solved this problem in our own gyms, and I've helped gyms all over the world do the same thing by implementing a high-ticket premium package funnel in the local area. Guys like Luca here who've done this, and as you can see, he's getting 17 consultations booked in a single week. He looks for about 5 sales a week on minimum at high-ticket prices. You can see here again, 1 week we did this. He got 5 people booked in for an appointment. All 5 showed up, all 5 purchased. Next week, 6 consults, 6 of them show up, 100% close rate using simple systems and frameworks that I can share with you as well. We've got guys like Kelly as well. Kelly has a studio in Chicago and she's been running this. She went from a low ticket average price program. We put the price up from $149 up to $397, and she closed 4 on the first day of running this. And we're going to put the prices up even more again. Okay, I've got other success stories, and you get the picture, right? But the big problem that you might be facing, like we have faced as well in our studios, and the reason we implemented this is because what we've noticed in the last couple of years specifically is that a lot of areas are getting more saturated. There's a lot more people opening studios. There's a lot more competition. Everyone's offering the same thing. Everyone guarantees results. So basically, it's harder and harder to stand out. And because we've got more people offering the same thing, targeting the same audience, then that means that our ad costs are skyrocketing. And gone are the days when you would get leads for £2 to £3 or $3-4. Now it's likely that you're spending a lot more. And I've spoken to hundreds of gym owners all over the world in America, Australia, UK, Canada, and they've gone from $10 leads up to leads costing 20, 30, £40 or $40 in some cases. And so they're not able to grow at the same rate as before. So if you've got the cost skyrocketing, what that means is it's harder and harder to profit on your advertising on the front end. And that means you're burning through cash and you don't know if you're going to be able to grow. That then causes a problem because you're not getting as many new clients anymore each month. And so your churn on the back end keeps your revenue stuck for months. What I mean is, let's say you're used to getting 20 new clients a month coming through the door. And maybe your churn rate on the back end, you lose maybe 5 or 6 clients a month. So that would mean if you convert a good number of the new people coming in, you still end up with a net gain of members. But now, if you've only got 3 or 4 or 5 clients trickling in each month, and you're losing 3, 4, 5 clients on the back end, you keep doing all this work, but your recurring revenue never actually grows. And a lot of gym owners are getting stuck for months, if not years, in that position. And ultimately, what's happening is, the bigger picture is that you risk getting priced out of the ads opportunity, and you'll have to rely on organic and go back to the dark ages of that stuff, right? So really the only way to stay competitive on paid advertising is to be able to afford more per lead. You have to be able and willing to spend more to acquire a lead. So how do you stay in the game and how do you keep it profitable? So that's what I'm going to show you with the high ticket funnel. But first, let me just break down the math of the traditional phone call funnel that a lot of guys use, just so you see that I'm not making this up. The math doesn't math anymore. So look, I'm one of the people that made this phone call funnel famous back in the day. I've used it for many years and it worked mostly because, though, the fact that we had cheaper and cheaper leads. I've been running Facebook ads since about 2012, where I would pick up leads for like $1 each. So if you were spending $3 to $5 a lead, then the phone call funnel would work, and a low ticket offer, a low barrier offer would work because you'd still make profit. So that worked in the past, but you always have to be able to adapt The businesses that get too reliant on one thing and don't adapt are the ones that get crushed in the end. So that worked if you have $5 leads. But now, since so many gym owners are reporting that their lead cost is higher, here's why it doesn't work. So you have your Facebook ad, you have your opt-in page usually, or it could be a lead ad, either way. And then you pick up the phone, you call the lead, and most gym owners are closing a 6-week offer at around about £149 or about $200. Okay, that's about average. So again, this can work if you're paying $5 a lead, but costs are going up everywhere. If they haven't gone up in your area yet, they will. So a lot of gym owners now are reporting paying somewhere between £15 to £20 or dollars cost per lead. So if you're spending that amount right now, and let's say that you manage to close 15% of all the leads you generate, then that's going to cost you around about £120 acquisition cost. So you're charging $149, but it's costing you $120 just to make the sale now. And this is where so many gym owners are getting squeezed. So let's say, for example, you spend £1,000 a month on average on ads. This would mean you'd get about 8 front-end clients now, and you'd make about £1,200 revenue. You'd make a very small net on the front. However, you then have to factor in your cost of goods sold or fulfillment, any sales commission you give someone, tax, and everything else. And then you add it up and you're actually at a loss each month. Not to mention the fact that your churn rate can actually keep you stuck in place. So this doesn't work if you have high lead costs. So the solution that we came up with, we implemented in our studios, and I've helped other gym owners and personal trainers all over the world do this, is building in the high ticket funnel. Okay, and there's a number of reasons for this that solve all the major problems. But a quick question for you, okay? If you're wondering if this would work for you or not, let me ask you this. Does your small or large group training program get equal, if not better results than the average typical personal trainers in your area? 99% of trainers I would ask would say yes, that even in small or large groups, they've got the before and afters and results to show premium results. And if that's a yes from you, then this will work for you. Okay, you can charge more than you think. So let's talk about why this works so well. First of all, when you follow the system the way I teach it, it will allow you to close a minimum of $497 for a large group program up front, or even $799 or up to $1,000 US for a semi-private program. And I've got gym owners and PTs in every part of the world doing this, even in the areas you think won't sell that much. Now, here's the beauty of this. Even if you have high cost per lead, we still liquidate the ad spend and keep scaling because we're making so much more profit on the front end sale. So we don't worry about our ad costs anymore. And we just pay Facebook more money. We set a higher daily budget on Facebook. And that means Facebook gives us priority over our competitors because our competitors are getting priced out. Because what happens is if their lead cost goes above £20, they just turn their ads off. And they won't budget as much as us because they're scared, because they don't have a system that makes profit. So we can pay Facebook £50 a day, £100 a day, £200 a day, and we know we're going to make big profits. Now, another bonus to this is that the higher paying clients that we get are the best quality. They get better results. They give us more referrals, and ascension into the back end is easy. Because if you're charging just $200 a month on the back end and someone's paid you, $599 up front for 6 weeks, getting them to pay $200 a month after that is actually a piece of cake. So you can actually make more money serving fewer clients, which means there's less selling to do. You don't need as many staff, and you get better quality clients overall. So let me show you how this actually works. So the funnel looks like this. We start with our Facebook ads as normal. Okay, we use something I call the perfect Facebook ad formula that we split test a lot of different things to get the best lead costs. But even if our lead costs are high, it doesn't even matter. We still make money. So the first thing we'll do is once we get the lead from Facebook, we want to book them in for an in-person consultation. Not a phone call, not a Zoom call. It has to be at your studio. Find a little space in your studio, because when you close one-on-one, this actually allows you to sell higher ticket 10 times easier. And all the gym owners that have transitioned into this model, they all actually prefer selling in person because it feels better to them. They get to meet the client, and the sale is actually much easier than they thought it was going to be. The next step then is once they've booked the appointment, we then have to get them to attend the appointment. This is where a lot of gym owners who try and run this model fall flat on their face, because they don't have a system to get people to actually show up. Okay, so we have to actually get the people to show up. There is some work involved in that, but it's so much worth it. Finally, then they will come to the consultation and we will close the sale and handle objections right there. So if we now look at this, the stats we're aiming for, you want to write these down. We usually get around about a 50 to 60% lead to booking rate. So about 50 to 60% of our leads we get booked in for the appointment. That's much higher than the industry average, and that's because we have certain systems to do this. Then we look for another 50 to 60% show up rate at the consultation, and then we have generally a 70 to 80% close rate on a high ticket price. So let's run the math on this one. Okay, and before I do that, again, like I said, we have systems in place. I have my app setting script. Okay, we have a very specific appointment setting script that we follow up with our leads, and this allows us to get all the leads booked in. By the way, if you want a copy of my appointment setting SOP and how we get all these leads booked in, way above average, just drop a comment script or something below, or shoot me a message and I'll send that to you for free. The next system we have then is what I call my indoctrination sequence. This is the sequence of communication that we send to the prospect after they've booked in the appointment. Okay, we don't just wait for them to turn up. We actually build the conversation, nurture the relationship a bit more, and we ensure that a big percentage turn up. And then to close the sale at a high ticket level, we use what's called my high ticket offer and closing framework. We need to structure the offer in a certain way so that it is massive premium value. And then there is a specific way to conduct the conversation, handle the objections, and even a specific way that we use to set up our studio or our consultation room that works in your favor and frames you as an authority and allows you to charge more money without resistance. So you need those frameworks in place. By the way, if you want to look at any of those, I've got trainings on all of them. So just drop a comment with whatever would help you the most. Now, let's look at the math. And let's assume, again, we're paying £20 a lead, just same as the last funnel, but we're now paying £20 a lead here. So for £1,000 ad spend, you're going to get 50 leads every month if you pay £20 a lead. Then let's say we get 50% of the leads booked in. That's 25 booked appointments that month. Then we get 12 show-ups. And then let's say you close 8 people, okay, at $497. That means even though, just like in the last example with the phone call funnel, you paid £20 a lead and you got 8 sales, this time the 8 sales you make brings you nearly £4,000 in cash and a 4x return on your investment. So you're still working with 8 clients, but you're actually making 4 times more money. Which would you rather do, right? And the good thing is, like I said, you get 4x your return on ad spend, but it gets even better because this means you've liquidated your monthly ad spend with just the first 2 sales alone. Okay, if you put £1,000 into ads, then the first 2 sales at $497, and you've broken even already. Okay, so this allows you to scale and actually put $2,000, $3,000 a month into your ads, and you can easily get 20 or more high ticket clients every week, every month coming in. Most of the guys I work with will usually aim for 5 high ticket sales a week. So we bring in about 2 to 4K in revenue front end per week. And then, like I said, the good thing about these clients are a much higher percentage of these high ticket clients will stay on the back end. What I found is with lower paying clients, if they come in at £150, maybe 50-60% will stay on the back end. But with these guys, not only have they paid more money, but the majority of them will easily stay afterwards as well. So again, like I showed you earlier, that's puts into context now how guys like Luca and the other clients I'm working with are getting these kind of results. But you might be wondering, okay, maybe how can I possibly charge that much? You might be wondering, I don't know how to package my offer. Like, what do I offer to stand out? How do I make it better than all the other options in town? Or you might be wondering that I don't have a system for closing high ticket sales, and how do I actually do that? Well, if that's the case, that's a common concern for a lot of people, but you needn't worry about it, okay? Because you can see here some of the stats from the Transform Hub, our own studios. We've got new franchisees opening up, charging $499, getting 20 sales before they even launched the gym. We've got John, one of our franchisees here, closing at $599, doing £3,500 a week. And even one of our large group studios, we're selling at £699 for a 6-week program, doing 8 to 10K a week in front end sales. So, even we didn't believe we could charge as much as we're charging, right? But just by implementing it and optimizing it, we've managed to get there. So, if you want some training on that high ticket closing framework, I've got a whole other training on that. That'll help you to package the offer, kind of show you what we offer in that high premium package and how we actually sell it as well. So if you want that, just DM me or comment the word sales and I'll drop that over to you as well. Hope this was helpful. If you have any questions at all, drop a comment below and I will see you in my next video.